Nevada Virtual Academy, did you miss me? I did miss you guys. Problem number 13, proficiency SAT, ACT. If 4c squared minus 16e squared equals absolute value of negative AD everything squared, then what is the value of c squared in terms of D and E? Okay? And you have 5 options as usual. What should we do? Well, let's rewrite the equation. 4c squared minus 16e squared equals absolute value of negative AD everything squared. Okay? And what I need you now is to focus on this right term. You have a negative AD that is squared. And what you guys remember from your very early classes, maybe 6th or 7th grade, if I have a positive number and I'm squaring, the answer is going to be positive, right? If I have a negative number and I'm squaring it, the answer is going to be what? Positive. So regardless what that negative AD will be, right? Negative AD squared is going to be AD squared, well, AD everything squared, and the absolute value of that cannot be anything else but a positive number, right? Basically positive AD squared, right? AD everything squared. So I can rewrite the right side of my equation as being AD everything squared. Why is that so? Because negative squared is positive, and also absolute value of this number squared will always be positive, right? I mean, this number squared will always be positive, so its absolute value will basically equal to itself. Make sense? You guys remember the rule? Absolute value of x equals x if x is greater than or equal to 0, or negative x if x is less than 0. Well, in this case, that negative AD everything squared is always positive, which means the absolute value of this quantity is going to be AD everything squared. So your equation now is looking different. 4c squared minus 16e squared equals AD everything squared. Now you have to separate your variable, which has to be c. We have to c squared. We have to solve this equation for c squared, which means I'm adding 16e squared to both sides. Okay. And my equation will look like 4c squared, right, equals AD everything squared is going to be 8 squared, which is 64d squared, plus 16e squared. Now, because I need to find what is the value of c squared, I have to divide everything by 4. You make sure you divide every term by 4, right? 4 by itself is 1, c squared, the value that I'm looking for, equals 64 divided by 4 is going to be 16. 16 what? 16d squared, right? Plus 16 divided by 4 is 4, plus 4e squared. And this is the expression I'm looking for, trying to find what is the value of c squared. Well, here it is, 16d squared plus 4e squared. And regardless of the values of d and e, this will have a solution, right, as you guys can see in here, because d squared is always positive, e squared is always positive, so the sum of two positive numbers will definitely equal the sum, the square of a number, right, which square is also positive. I hope it makes sense. C squared, 16d squared plus 4e squared. E is the right, A is the right answer. Okay. And this is one way in which you can answer this problem. If you have a better one, let me know. Thank you.